3.
We're going to take the check.
Welcome back to another episode of Chasing the Checkered. My name is Bobby, and today we got something pretty cool we are going to do with you guys. It's the first time I've ever got to do it. We're actually headed to the racetrack this morning. We're not taking the race car, but we're being interviewed by a radio station, 102.1 The Outlaw. We'll put the link in the description right here. So we're gonna go get interviewed, first time ever, and see what this is all about. So I'm gonna bring you guys along, so hopefully you enjoy it, and here we go. All right guys, we made it to the Auburndale Motor Speedway. You're gonna come in here and get interviewed by 102.1 The Outlaw. See what happens.
Welcome back to Speed Sports Saturday, right here on Real Country 102.1 The Outlaw. And joining us now at the Auburndale Speedway studio is Bobby Rowland. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, taking the time to come into the studio. First of all, I gotta say something. He's got a cell phone pointed right at his face. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing here.
So what we're doing here is we have a YouTube channel, and it is called Chasing the Checkered. So whoever's listening right now, stop what you're doing, unless you're driving, and go to YouTube, type in Chasing the Checkered, smash that subscribe button, shoot us a comment, and like what we're doing. It's kind of like a vlog of what it takes behind the scenes of a race team. So when I got this car, I said, I watch a lot of YouTube, Hunt the Front, and Chase Holland Racing, Fleming Family Racing. These are all great YouTube channels, but there's a lot of dirt, and there's not that much asphalt stuff out there. So I'm like, well, let me start an asphalt YouTube channel and go with the vlog. So that's what we're doing. So pretty much what I've done is, from the moment that I got the car to where I am now, I have filmed every step of the way. So from when we first took it off the trailer with half a motor in it to unloading it here September 11th, the last time we raced the car, it's all on film.
So how long have you been doing this?
I have been racing since 2006, started in the Kids Club Series right here at Auburndale Speedway. And ever since then, it's just one of those things that kind of took hold and you can't let go. So I've left the sport a few times, but it's always in me. It's always what I want to do. And then whenever I get a chance to hop back in, that's what I do.
Well, I usually ask people the reason for their car number, but I have a feeling I know the answer, because he's wearing an Interstate battery hat and an Interstate battery shirt. So I have a feeling the number comes from the 18 Interstate battery. Am I right on that?
Yes, sir. So we are actually sponsored by Interstate Batteries of Lakeland, Mr. David Gagowski down in 92 in Cumbie. When I first started in racing in the Kids Club Series, I actually ran the number 59. And that was my dad's number when he ran. And one Saturday morning, we went to start the car to head to the racetrack, and the battery was dead. And for some reason, didn't have a battery charger. Interstate was the only place that was open on a Saturday. And here I am, 12 years old, and I go into Interstate Batteries, and Mr. Gig just happened to be behind the counter that day. And I said, I need a battery for my car. And he kind of looks at me and goes, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, I had a picture of the race car, and I said, this is what I do. I need a battery." He goes, "I got you." Gave me a battery. We actually won that night. So then I came back that following Monday with my mom, and I gave Mr. Gig the trophy. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got to race that night.
What a great story that is.
Yes, sir.
Where did you get the idea you wanted to go racing? How did that happen? Because your dad?
My dad, yes, sir. So Dad ran here. He started when he was 16 between running Auburndale and Lakeland, and he ran street stock, sportsman, and then Dad got out of it for a while. And one Saturday night, we come to the racetrack, and that's my first time here, and I fell in love with it. Dad ended up getting back into it. Had a couple cars, and I wanted to do it, man. I told Dad, I said, let me try to drive, and he's like, "No, you're not driving. You're a kid. You can't drive." And he actually rented the track one day with one of his cars to change. We changed the flywheel, had some problems, so Dad rented the track. Mom wasn't here, and someone, wink wink, put a fire suit that fit me in the trailer. And before we left, I told Dad, I said, "Let me just drive the car one time." He said, "Okay, fine. Get in it, go." So I put that fire suit on, jumped in, and I actually set a better lap time than his driver at the time. So then from that moment, we went home. Dad unloaded the car, put a for sale sign on it, sold his, and then bought mine.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Another great story. What is it about racing that you enjoy?
Honestly, to me, it's trying to control the uncontrollable. There's races within the race. So right now, this new car that we're running, it's not going to be up front yet because I'm still working the bugs out of it. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to race my own race within having 24 cars that started Saturday night. I'm trying to control myself. I'm trying to watch for everybody else. I mean, it's a huge adrenaline rush. So I'm not big on adrenaline. I don't do the roller coasters anymore. I used to, but for some reason I have absolutely no fear when it comes to sitting behind the wheel of a stock car.
Wow. How's your season been this year? I know you've been working out some bugs and things, but overall for the whole season, how's it been?
It's been up and down. So honestly, when we first got this car, we brought it out last year, and it rained us out 6 weeks in a row. So we did not get to run the car at all last year. And then I said, you know what? Maybe that's a sign from the good Lord that something's up and I shouldn't do it. So I did sell the car, and then everything kind of fell back into place, and I was able to get the car back. And so we've ran this car now twice. Of course, the second time we led the entire heat race up until the white flag, got a good old-fashioned bump and run by the 47, and was running 5th, I believe, in the feature, coming to the white flag, passing Julian, and the motor grenaded the bottom end out. So that's where it is right now. It's in the shop on jack stands, working on parts.
Oh, man. Man, did you feel it up there in the tower?
I did. Yes, we did. Oh, yeah. That was my first Bucks game, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. I haven't been back since.
Yeah, Derry's wearing a Miami Dolphins shirt at a Bucks game.
I think that's who was playing, yeah, because the guy in front of us had the Ray Finkel jersey.
If you could only have one, just one of these two things, which would you rather have, a good car or good racing luck?
I'm going to go with the luck, because anyone that knows me and knows my last name, if it wasn't for bad luck, I believe I'd have no luck at all sometimes. So I definitely am in the luck.
And Auburndale's your home track, I take it?
Yes, sir.
So you live in Lakeland, right?
Yes, sir. I have ventured out to Citrus County. I have ran Showtime a couple times. Love the facilities, but man, it is such a hike down there. once you get everything loaded up and head that way, and then you get there and you run and then try to load everything back up, and you get home, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. No matter what they say, Auburndale's always 15 minutes from the house.
And what does it take to make a perfect lap at Auburndale?
Honestly, it's all about hitting your marks for me. That's one of the reasons why we ended up losing the heat race 2 weeks ago, was I just missed my mark going into 3. That had been the first heat race win of this year. And like I said, I wasn't prepared for the old bump and run from the 47, and got me out of my groove. And it's all about concentration, knowing where you are, knowing where your competitors are, and trying to lay down the smoothest line and lap time that you can.
Now, you've mentioned it a couple times, so I got to ask you, do you believe in paybacks?
No. It was all clean racing, man. I actually talked to Mr. Bill, and everything's good. I told him, I said, that was one heck of a heat race, and he agreed. So, no, man, we're all good.
So, if you have a bad day at the track, do you have someone you vent to, or do you just kind of keep it inside, or how do you deal with that?
My poor wife. Oh my goodness, she catches it all, and I just shared a Facebook thing the other day with her. I said it said, we're gonna race it, wreck it, rebuild it. I'm gonna sell it, but then I'm gonna rebuild it again and then race it. So that's kind of what I do. I get so frustrated, but then I'm like, all right, just walk away from it, take a breath, and okay, it's Saturday, I gotta go racing. So
it's great. Julie, do you have anything before I ask my strange question of the day?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So you're saying you're the curse, you're the jinx, huh?
I told you, it's that rolling last name. We have terrible luck.
So the oddball question of the day, and I'm asking everybody on the show today the same question. And that's, Rex says, you got to put a passenger seat in your car, and you have to have somebody in the car when you race. Who would you pick and why?
Oh man, this is easy. This takes me back to my kids club days when we had to run a co-rider in there. But I'm definitely going to strap my wife into it and let her see what I'm talking about. Because she's like, why do you do this? I'm like, well, strap in and I'll show you.
Would she be willing to do that, you think, if that was given the opportunity?
I highly doubt it. She's always said our son has to have one of the parents. So I don't think she's going to crawl into a stock car.
All right, so who would you like to thank, and what sponsors?
Absolutely. So our first one is, like I mentioned before, Interstate Batteries of Lakeland, Mr. Gig. He helps us out tremendously for everything he's ever done for me, and I'm super, super grateful for him. We actually this year landed Q Injury Auto Attorneys on the car, Mr. Leonard McHugh, so we want a huge shout out to them. _ at the Bearded Builder, Joshua Henson. He's a local carpenter on the side. You can go to Instagram and check out all of his work. I mean, if it can be made of for wood, Josh is one of the best carpenters I've ever seen, doing anything that he can. And Fleming Family Racing out of Mississippi, they also have a YouTube channel. And Skylar Fleming is one of the coolest down-to-earth guys I've ever met. If there's any way you guys can go check out their YouTube channel and let them know that Chasing the Checkered sent you, then Skylar will be super happy about that. Mr. Bruce from Port City Motorsports Productions, he's the one that created all the logos for our YouTube channel. So definitely go give him a like and a share on Facebook. My mom and my dad, they've helped me out. My brother, sister-in-law, and most importantly, my beautiful wife and my 4-year-old son. I couldn't do any of this without them. And thank you guys so very much. I know they're all listening right now. Thank you guys so much for letting me live the dream that I have.
Bobby, thank you for coming on the show and your time, and you did a great job. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to commercial. Auburndale Speedway presents Speedport Saturday. We'll be back. Real Country 102.1 The Outlaw.